So this week we had a UX design project where we needed to prototype a spatial or a diegetic UI feature, and I chose to create something that would fit my world Amtharus that I created for the level design. And so I needed anyway to create the different menu screens that the character, the player, would interact with and use. And so to access them for now, I've created this bar down here. And this is not fully designed. I'm going to change this at some point because I think that, sort of like with Subnautica, there would be some type of oxygen display while she's wearing her suit and going out and exploring. And then this eyeball, she's going to have some type of handheld scanner in order to interact with some of the organic materials and plants and things that she finds, which are part of the quest series. Anyway, so this center icon, I've been using this to pop up this screen. And so this is what I designed, and this is what I envision that the character Karis, she holds in her hand. And so it would ideally be a diegetic feature where it feels like an actual screen that she's holding. Obviously, I don't have that ability to do it in that way, but kind of like with Subnautica, where you can see that a hand is holding it, I kind of wanted that experience to come through with this. So I designed it to have these big kind of like buttons, and then the see-through screen. It's very sci-fi to me, to where you can kind of see through it. And so these are the different things that the character herself would interact with, her inventory, crafting, her personal log, missions, ship status, which has this symbol here that indicates that there is a problem that needs to be dealt with, and then call the ship AI, and this is how she would interact with the ship AI Sil, which, if you remember my earlier videos, she talks to the ship a lot while she's out exploring. Like I'm trying to do a lot of audio dialogue in this, and I also think that this display gives me another way to where I can kind of support that audio dialogue for people that maybe miss some of what they're talking about, so that we can get some of that information here in a way that the character would get it. So anyway, yeah, so at the front I have these, trying to make it a very touchable experience, and that's how it would feel. I've just designing this for my computer, so with the mouse you can go over and see that it changes what you've selected, and then this would be the planet that she's on and like the weather data, and I also envision this kind of being animated, this a bit more engaging than it is now with it being so static. And then at the top there's these small icons, like this is for the main screen, and then we have a messages where you can click on it, and then the various messages, and this would be messages that she has received, Karis, and I thought that it would be fun to still tie in the audio that I already have, or that I've already worked through this game. So
how are you, Rumi?
I added some audio here.
I hope you're enjoying your old lady status and having a lot of fun wherever Theron Corp has sent you now. When are you going to come back planetside? We have to get together soon. Miss you? I'd send you some cake, but I doubt it'd be edible once it arrived. Take care of yourself.
I didn't put in anything to stop the audio, so I had to wait until it finished playing. But I thought it would be a fun way to not only you can read the text, like read her messages, but then also you can hear them in the voice of the characters that supposedly sent it to her. So like this is another message, and this is from like a corporation that she works with.
We've logged an irregularity with your ship's recent submitted sample, number 531, from planet 5390. Please perform additional testing and resend your results.
And these are both, I'm still using 11 Labs to generate the audio for the dialogue that I've written, which is working really, really great with my game project. So Anyway, so yeah, so this is the message screen up here. And then here would be, so it's kind of in this upper corner, like I have the mini map to where when she moves around, you can see her move through there. But here it would be more like this bigger galaxy map, and of course a local map. Don't have the graphics for that or anything, so I've just kind of, it's a placeholder, but that's kind of how I envision this, to where you kind of get even more world information here. And then of course we can return. So, and then like here, you can also click through, and then you get more information here about the planet, its ecology, weather, whatever is relevant, not only to the missions that she's been sent on, but like archaeological insights and things like that. And this also would be a screen to where the ship's computer would speak to her, and there would be like that interaction back and forth. So yeah, and then down here, now that we are off the main screen, once you actually go into one of these, it highlights, I've selected what you're on. So like I wanted those icons here. Like I didn't want to necessarily have to use the to repeat the names. I'm hoping that the icons are obvious enough for what they are. So like going in, this is the one that's selected. We're on the inventory. In this example, I wasn't able to animate it in time, or not animate it, but where you, when you're on the inventory item, like this one, this information would pop up below. And just like with Diablo or World of Warcraft, like where your inventory item gets this frame around it to kind of indicate it's something special, this is like a quest item. So you see this orange is kind of the highlight color, like there's something special, pay attention to this. And that's repeated here with the quest item. So if this was working, if you move your mouse over it, then it would change for whatever is here, and you would see these different information. And this one and like the one on the end, they're both like quest items and everything. So that's the inventory. We go to the crafting screen. I'm still figuring out exactly how the crafting would work in this game. So here it's just a placeholder. Again, I envision it, since this is a device that the character is using herself. I envision that this would be some way that she would be able to interact with the ship, because like she would be crafting using the ship's systems. So it would be kind of a very interactive screen here. And again, you would hear more audio from the ship's computer and them talking back and forth. And then moving over to this one, the personal log. And this I kind of envision it being similar to the message screen, a little more than what I've shown here, but it's, just more to kind of round out the world and give clues about her missions and things like that. So, and maybe also have the character's voice here too. So just like where you can hear the audio for the messages, you would hear the character read these out herself if you wished, since I have been using the character's voice when they have their communication back and forth. And then this mountain is the mission log, and this one, oh, I'm missing some text here. So the objective log, it's checked off, but here there would actually be like, this is what you're supposed to do. Find 3, suitable plants, like up here in the corner. Get biomass. 0 out of 3. She hasn't gone and found them yet. But here it'd be like, if she had actually found that, that's like step 1, and then step 2 would be something else, and then they would check off as you do them. And then of course, when you have more than one mission, you would be able to flip through to all of them here. And then this one would be the ship's status. And so there'd be an image of the ship, and then kind of like, what are the different systems and where are they? So like the communications are offline and the fuel is critical. So those are both highlighted in red to show that those are, problems we need to deal with. And then this last one is talk to the ship AI. And this is where you can have like different conversations with the ship AI. And it would be a lot more that you could do here than what I've kind of mocked up. But I was envisioning that you get kind of like subtitles for their conversation as well, kind of like the communication log. And this kind of image would be something for that would represent the ship's AI, and maybe this like would be animated, kind of so you see that they're talking to each other. But so I was envisioning that here you could actually ask her set questions. And I mean, if I could do whatever I wanted in this game, then it would be really cool to be able to, as a player, audibly say what you want to ask and then get responses back. But if that wasn't an option, then have some type of buttons that appear like so, to where you can get answers to specific questions. So like, what is the status of the ship? And so here I have Karis, the character, ask that in her voice and then get a response back.
What is the status of the ship?
Communications are currently offline. Our support systems are functioning. Hull integrity is 50% and our fuel level is critical. We will need to produce more biofuel in order to maintain our systems.
And that's kind of a repeat of what you can see on this screen as well. So like you could look at it here, but then you could also ask the computer and she would tell you. And then of course it didn't update here, but the text would appear, not only what she says to you, but what you say to her. And so it would be a very interactive screen. So that's the UX that I designed to be used, and borrowing this button to be able to close it, open and close it. But I think that if I could do whatever I wanted, I would definitely make it even more diegetic, to where, like I said, it'd be kind of like Subnautica, to where you're holding it in your hand. It feels like you're holding it in your hand as the character and interacting with it. And I think that this design kind of fits with the story, helps support the space researcher narrative. And yeah, I think I already mentioned, but it just gives you a visual for some of the things, the information that you already get with the audio dialogue. But in case you miss anything, need to know your objective. And like right here, I haven't totally decided what information that would be, but perhaps like just your current objective or something that's really relevant to you as the player that you need. Anyway, so that's the design that I've done. I envision it being a very interactive piece of equipment for the character. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. And just as far as the experience overall, like down here, this is like my temporary bar, like I mentioned, with like H2O or whatever, like their oxygen levels, or are there any dangers in the atmosphere where she is, but I think that it would also be cool to not only make it even more immersive, for not only if this device felt like it was being held, but also like doing something like with Dead Space, where Isaac has like that, his oxygen indicator on the back of his suit, doing something like that, to where trying to make it feel like you are in it, as in this world as much as possible. But anyway, so yep, that's the UX design that I did for my game, and yeah, I hope that it worked really well. All right, thanks. Bye.